Getting let off is one of the most jarring events in your professional life. Even if you know it's coming, it can still make you feel lost. You might hear a lot of feedback about famous people who used losing a job to launch their most tremendous success, but at the moment you probably just want simple, actionable advice for applying for jobs and getting to the next chapter in your career. Now, before panicking and applying to 50 different roles each day, first analyze your finances and your career. Make time to consider your budget and apply for unemployment if needed. You should also take time to map out your career goals if you haven't already. For example, ask yourself, what have you enjoyed during your last career? And on the contrary, what would you love to change? What are your priorities right now? Do you want to accelerate your career, to become a better professional, or to make a corporate career somewhere in a big company? Or are your priorities at the moment just work remotely, have a flexible schedule, and be able to earn a decent living for yourself and your family? After you figure out the answers to those questions, you can work those into your job search goals and update your CV so that it actually meets that criteria and so that you actually are eligible to apply to the roles that you are dreaming of. And along with updating your CV, I would advise you to update your cover letter template so that it actually meets that perspective and aligns with your CV. And don't be disheartened by the fact that you are actually being let off. That has happened to many people. There is nothing embarrassing about that. It has even happened to myself. It doesn't say anything about yourself being a bad employee unless, of course, you've been fired for something really bad. And I know this topic should be interesting to many IT specialists because in the early 2023, which we are right now, there has been quite a crisis in the industry, with Google recently firing 12,000 employees and other huge companies firing employees. So this should be actually a problem for many good specialists who are currently on the lookout. So I hope this video helps you to be more productive at your job search. And the first and kind of a basic advice from me would be to update your LinkedIn profile, because LinkedIn is one of the first places where recruiters and headhunters are turning to in order to find great specialists for their clients. So do take some time to update your LinkedIn profile so that those recruiters and headhunters have more understanding about what your professional brand is and what you can bring to the table. And please, if you're a tech specialist, I know this might be an issue because I've known great tech specialists who haven't updated their LinkedIn profile for years. And of course, it shouldn't stay this way. If you learned any new skills, if you worked with any new technologies during your last job role, this is exactly the reason to go to your LinkedIn and update your profile. So make sure you include your most relevant skills to the positions you're applying to on your LinkedIn profile. Secondly, have a professional headshot so that recruiters actually feel kind of attracted to yourself and like they feel more inclined to write to you. And the advice from me, if you are hesitant between several pics that you should put as your profile photo, choose the one that has your smile on it. And thirdly, use relevant keywords throughout your profile in the description of your responsibilities, duties and responsibilities on your last job roles, in the description, in the skill set, and if you've been writing any posts, any articles. And my advice is, even if you are not a great writer and even if you haven't ever written anything, make an effort and write just a tiny something relevant to the job that you're applying to. For example, if you are, say, a senior programmer or a senior architect, you can write about why you think one type of architecture is better than the other, or why one technology is better than the other, or how you used this tech stack in that project. a tiny something to attract attention from the recruiters. The second advice would be to work on your personal brand. It's like you have to sell yourself on the market. Yes, you do. Your brand is more than just your CV and your LinkedIn profile. It's everything about how you interact with your coworkers, how you connect with other people, how you communicate with other people on the web, including on LinkedIn, because everybody can see your activity in the thread, like what you replied, what you liked, so everything counts. If you've never worked diligently to manage your online reputation, start with these simple steps. Firstly, create a professionally looking email address that includes your name and, for example, john.smith@gmail.com, rather than a generic or silly email address like Mickey Mouse 100, 2000, whatever. Then what I would advise you to do is to update your social media profiles, which is extremely important. All of them should be reflecting your brand. If you're not sure what that means, look at the profiles of other professional people you admire and who inspire you. What do they write about? What do their profiles look like? How often do they share some of the thoughts or ideas or whatever, and try to do something similar. That would be the first step to try to create your online presence. And that not only relates to your LinkedIn profile, to your professional profile, but also make sure that you check what you write on your Facebook, Twitter, or what other accounts you have. And as an extra step, you might consider starting a professional blog, or maybe even creating a simple website about yourself so that it actually represents your personal brand, who you are, what you do, and how you can be valuable to your potential team, to the people you are considering working with. Now, the next thing you should never underestimate is the power of your network. It's time to fire up your network, and if you haven't done that for years, which again may happen to a lot of tech specialists or introverted people, then it's really time you do that. And the simplest thing you can do is reach out to your friends, family, and connections to let them know that you're available for new opportunities. They might not have something directly like for yourself, and they might not have something in their companies or whatever, but they might keep their eyes open for opportunities for the person, for the professional like yourself. For example, when I saw that one of my ex-coworkers with whom I haven't worked for several years was looking for new opportunities, and then just a couple of weeks after I saw her being available, I've had a job offer from the company I've worked with previously, and these, the requirements, they are suited more her skill set than mine. That is the first thing, and the second thing, I'm just not up to taking any more opportunities. And so I just forwarded this invitation, and I said to the head of HR at that company, hey, look, I have a perfect person for you. I don't need anything for referrals. Nothing. I just want a good person to go to a good company. And the third tip is optional, but then it's easy to do, easy not to do, so better do. And that is join professional groups on LinkedIn, on even on Quora, on Xing, on Twitter, so wherever you're more active. On LinkedIn, it's the best place typically. So join professional groups and start communicating with people there. The more people know about this, the more chances for you to pick up a new role. And then what I would advise you to do is to create your own online job search plan. And I would advise you to treat job searching as a full-time job, and that will be easier for your mental health as well as for your physical time, because applications take a lot of time. And I know that because I've applied for other people, there was a goal for one person to change his career, and I actually did all the applying stuff, all of the follow-ups, all of the feedbacks, setting up interviews, and what will be asked on this interview, and what will be on that interview, and what he should be saying on this interview, on that or that interview. So you should be preparing for each part of those interviews. And preparing part alone takes a lot of time. So if you have someone to help you with the applications, with setting up interviews, with following up, and all of this stuff, with networking, with brushing up your profiles, then use this help. I've helped several people this way. This is a full-time job in itself. And then one observation I've made is that less is often more in terms of a job search. It is also important to apply on quality job roles rather than frantically applying everywhere to just meet your quota. No, apply to the job positions that fit you more, and so that you could focus more on those positions. And then of course there are a lot of job boards that you will be applying at. For example, FlexJobs or remote.co.uk. You want to create profiles there on each and every job board, and then create notifications so that as soon as the relevant job role opens up, you are among the first to apply there. This will save you time so that you don't have to search all over again to set up those filters. Another advice would be to devote time to research, and especially that relates to the stage where the interviews are already being scheduled, because if the interviewer asks you why you applied to this specific role, to this specific company, and whilst you might feel inclined to respond like, I just need a job, do a little bit of research and say that, for example, you like the industry, or this is a respectable company and you want some stable company to work at, or whatever, or you like the company's policy. And another important advice is to use this spare time while you are job searching to brush up your current skills and maybe learn new skills, so that you could not only stand out from the competition but also apply to better job roles. Why not? And besides that, hiring managers typically like some sort of a certifications. Now, while you might not have anticipated this job search, being laid off is just one moment in your career. If you approach your job search with a clear strategy, you'll find your next job role sooner than you think. And to help you with this noble mission, you might want to check out this video of mine next, where I talk about LinkedIn premium features and whether or not they are worth buying and trying. And this video specifically is about LinkedIn job search tool, because there are different premium tools on LinkedIn. Good luck with your job search process and see you there.